This session is a continuation of the Chapter 1 review, starting with problem 17. Now in problem 17, we're doing another perimeter and area problem on a coordinate grid, and in this case we have a triangle. So let's go ahead and get started and plot these points. So we have point 6, -2, which is down here, and we have 6, 5, which is up here, and we have -1, so -1 and 5. Alright, so we have G, which is -1 and 5. We have E, which is 6, -2, and F, which is 6, 5. Okay, let's go ahead and just for kicks draw in the polygon. And there it is. We have our triangle. Now, to find the perimeter, we can use the ruler postulate for these two sides. And this one, we're going to have no choice but to use the distance formula. So let's go ahead and use the ruler postulate for this side. We have the difference of the x-coordinates, which is going to be 6 minus -1, absolute value, which is 6 plus 1, 7. This vertical one, we're going to use the y-coordinates. So we have 5 minus -2, absolute value. 5 minus -2 is 5 plus 2, which is 7 again. Now, for the distance formula. So let's do it over here. We're just going to go ahead and stack our points. -1, 5, 6, -2, and we're going to go ahead and take the difference of our x's. -1 minus 6, -7. 5 minus -2 is 5 plus 2, 7. SAS, square, add square root. So then we have square root of 49 plus 49, which is square root of 98. And that's approximately 9.899. So our perimeter is 7 plus 7 plus 9 point, let's call it 9.9 just for kicks and giggles. And if we add these together, we get about 23.9. Now for the area. For area, the area is 1/2 base times height. Doesn't really matter which one we use for the base or which one we use for the height. They're both the same. So we're going to say 1/2 7 times 7, which is 49 divided by 2, which is about 24.5. That's number 17. Now on to number 18. In problem 18, we're working with some angles. So here it says, find the measure of angle ABD and the measure of angle CBD. So here we have ABC is broken up by our ray BD. Angle ABD is 3x plus 22. DBC is 5x minus 17. And it tells us the entire measure of angle ABC is 77. Because it's referring to this entire angle, we're going to use the angle addition postulate. And the angle addition postulate tells us that the measure of the big angle equals the sum of the smaller angles that make it up. So we can say that 3x plus 22 plus 5x plus 17 is going to equal this entire angle measure. So for number 18, we have 3x plus 22 plus 5x minus 17 equals 77. Now we're going to combine our values. 3 plus 5, that gives us 8x. 22 minus 17 is plus 5 equals 77. So now we subtract 5 from both sides. 8x equals 72. Divide by 8, x equals 9. So we're looking for a measure of ABD and CBD. So let's go ahead and plug x into the expression for ABD. So the measure of angle ABD equals, let's clean that up a little bit, equals 3 times x is 9 plus 22. So the measure of angle ABD is 27 plus 22, which is 49. And now the measure of angle CBD. Measure of angle CBD. Now we could do one of two things. We could take this value and subtract it from 77, or we can just plug this 9 back into this expression. So let's just make sure that we got everything right. 5 times 9 minus 17, that's going to equal 45 minus 17, and that's going to equal 28. And if we look, 28 plus 49 does in fact equal 77. So now let's move on to problem 19. In problem 19, we have a very similar situation. We just have different expressions for our angle measures. So here, angle ABC, the entire angle, is equal to 111, and we're given ABD expression and DBC expression. So we have 19 is negative 10x plus 58 plus 6x plus 41 equals 111. Again, this is angle addition postulate. This angle plus this angle equals the whole angle. Let's go ahead and combine our terms. So negative 10x plus 6x is negative 4x. And 58 plus 41 is 99. Oh goodness. And that equals 111. Now we're going to subtract 99. Negative 4x equals 12. Divide by negative 4, x equals negative 3. Now, let's go ahead and substitute that in for this expression. So, the measure of angle A, B, D equals negative 10 times negative 3 plus 58. So negative 10 times negative 3 is 30 plus 58, which is 88. And now the measure of angle D, B, C equals 6 times negative 3, which is our x value from here, plus 41. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18 plus 41, which is 23. So our two angle measures are 88 and 23. And now on to problem 20. So problem 20 says, find the measure of the angle using a protractor. So let's go ahead and pull out a protractor. So here's a protractor. And now we're going to go ahead and take our index, which is right here, and we're going to line it up with the vertex of our angle. This line of the protractor is going to be lined up along the initial side of the angle. We're going to read the angle off the terminal side of the angle. So let's go ahead and position our protractor. That looks about right. Since our initial side is on the right, we're going to use the inner scale. So we look through the inner scale, and it looks like it's past 120 and close to 130. So let's see if we can't zoom in here a little bit and get a little bit of better view. So let's bring this in, and it looks like we have 125, 126, looks like it's going to be about 127 degrees. So let's go ahead and zoom back out, and let's go ahead and write our value. So for problem 20, the angle measure is 127 degrees. And now let's move on to problem 21. In problem 21, we're told angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary angles. Given the measure of angle 1, find the measure of angle 2. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to give 90 degrees. So that's all we have to do for 21 is say 90 minus 12 equals 78 degrees, which means 78 and 12 are complements. So measure of angle 2 equals 78 degrees. All right, for 22, we have the same situation. 90 minus 83 equals 7. So the measure of angle 2 equals 7. Now on to problem 23. In 23, angle 3 and 4 are supplementary angles. Given angle 3, find the measure of angle 4. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So for 23, we say 180 minus 116 equals 64. So the measure of angle 4 equals 64 degrees. And number 24, 180 minus 56 equals 124. Measure of angle 4 equals 124 degrees. And I'll see you in the next session.